Hello everyone. Let's start with the functions part 2. We are here to discuss now with the actual parameters and the dummy parameters. The actual parameters are used in main program or where the function is called. They passes the value of arguments to the function. Whereas dummy parameters are used in function definition. They get the value of the arguments to the function. Let's understand it in more detail with example. Main, assuming that there are few statements written and with that result is equal to sum num1 comma num2. Now here is where we have called the function. So this num1 and num2 are the parameters called as the actual parameters. Where are they going to go? They are calling to a function definition. Where is the execution control going to move? Is over here where the definition is written for function. So here int sum, int x and int y, the names have changed for the same function name, where here we used it as num1 and num2. They are the actual parameters, whereas wherever we have defined the function, we have x and y, and they are nothing but the dummy parameters. What are the types of functions? Functions are of two types: the predefined functions and the user-defined functions. The predefined functions are also called as library functions. They are already defined in system libraries. The programmer can reuse the existing code in system library to write error-free code. To use them, user must be aware of syntax of these functions. Then user-defined functions are the ones which must be defined by the programmer or the user. To understand the predefined functions or the standard functions and the user-defined functions, let's go through a few examples. For predefined functions, they are written in the header files. To use them, appropriate header files should be included. For example, the header files called stdio.h. We have already used few functions called as printf, scanf, getchar, putchar, getS, puts. All these functions are included in stdio.h. Similarly, few more as in for conio.h header file, clear screen, getch. For math.h header files, we have function defined as power, square root, cos, log, etc. Even for string h, we have string copy, string length, string compare, and many more. Now, here we have written a small program to find the square root of a number using predefined functions. Let's include stdio.h as in we are going to use printf, scanf. For including math.h, as I want to use this square root function, and for conio.h to clear the screen. Moving on with a void return of of main function. Two variables, num and result, are initialized with integer type. Here, clear screen is been used as an predefined function. Now, this is the function which has no parameters in the brackets, which is allowed. Next, we move on to printf, enter a positive number. Now, why did we call for a positive number is where if I am using the square root function, the number which has to be returned or passed to the function definition is always has to be a positive number. And so we enter a positive number, get the positive number from the user and write down a predefined function. Now the function is sqrt num, which returns a value which is an integer value, and for that we have written down the result as a parameter. In this predefined functions, we need not write down the actual function or the function definition, as they are already available in the libraries or in the header files. Moving on to the user-defined function. Here a program is to find the square of a number. Here I haven't included more header files other than stdio.h, as I'm going to use printf and scanf only. The declaration of the function is must, void main, and then write down a simple program to get the number from the user, square num. Now this is where again I'm calling a function. I am defining a function, so I need to declare it, as well as I need to write the function definition, where what is to be done when it has been called has to be written. In this function definition, after the function has been called, the control moves here, where the number is to be passed on as x, and so defining a new variable called y and making the square. Square means nothing but multiplying the two numbers, multiplying the same number twice, and returning the y as in the result back to the function where the function was called, making sure that the contents of y will be stored in the result and so will be printed as the square of the number is the result. Hope that you have understood the basics of functions.